All right, I want you to imagine this. You walk into a room, you don't say a word, but the moment that you sit down in the room, everything shifts. The energy, the body language, the tone. And why does this happen? Because you didn't walk into the room and react to someone else's frame. You brought your own frame. Now, this video is not going to be for passive people. It's going to be for entrepreneurs, sales professionals, deal makers, leaders, and people who want to stop playing defense in their life and start engineering outcomes through psychological dominance in all of their social interactions. Today, we're going to be diving deep into two of the most important words that no one's ever told you about, and these words are frame control. Now, a frame is an internal lens. We all have one. Your psychological reality filter, if you will. But what most people don't realize is you don't just have a frame. You project a frame in everything that you do, and so does everyone else. So when two people meet, they come together, both of their frames come into the equation, and guess what? They collide. Now, frames don't coexist. One frame wins, the other submits. The stronger frame absorbs and overrides the weaker one in every single social interaction. So let's say two people sit down. One shows up as nervous, trying to impress. The other person shows up calm, certain, and unimpressed. They might say the same exact word, but one individual is chasing and the other is qualifying. One is reacting and the other is controlling. In business, sales, leadership, frames win every single time because whoever controls the frame controls what matters the most. They control what the conversation is about. They control who's reacting versus who's leading. And ultimately, whoever controls frame control controls the outcome. Now, frames shape perception, and perception shapes reality. Now, let's break a myth. Confidence isn't loud. Dominance isn't aggressive. And real power doesn't need to beg for attention. You see, most people lose the frame before they ever realize they're in one. They talk way too much. They talk too fast. They try to impress. They over-explain things. They chase approval through tone, through their posture, and they react to someone else's opinion or emotional state. And when this happens, it's already over. They've already lost frame control because their reaction is submission. Because the moment that you're reacting to someone else's frame, you are playing by their rules. They've got you in their frame, and now you are reacting to it. But here's the rule of frame control. The person who stays the calmest the longest, the person who's least reactive, who shows the least amount of neediness and emotion wins every single time. Now, here's what gets powerful. You don't need to say a word to control frame control. Your presence already said everything about you. If you are still, if you communicate with power, compared to someone who's twitchy, moving, nervous, and everything else, you're already going to win. Because apex predators, they don't fidget. They stalk, they observe, they wait, they move slowly with purpose, and they attack. That says one thing: I control time, and time doesn't control me. So what you have to do is always remember, hold eye contact for longer than what feels comfortable, but don't be scared to break contact. Like, you need to keep eye contact. You always want to remember, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So control your voice, stay low, stay calm, pace yourself. Don't blurt out a million things, and speak quietly. Speak certainly, but don't speak too fast, right? That's how you're going to hold their attention. Now, the next piece of this is really understanding how to bypass the nervous system. And when we're talking about frame collision and how they come together, in every conversation, the thing that you have to understand is that every frame is going to submit. So if you come in and you start acting hostile, or let's say the prospect comes in and say, hey, we're just shopping around for the cheapest vendor, you're going to respond with, hey, dude, I totally understand that. But if price is your only concern here, we're probably not a fit. We work with partners that want value-based outcomes, not discounts. Now, if you look at that response, I'm not reacting to anything that they said. I'm qualifying them. I'm not chasing them. I'm not trying to convince them that they should hear us. I'm sorting through them, and I'm letting them understand how we work as a company. Now, let me show you the 3 most common frames that you can bring to every battle. First is the power frame versus the beta frame. The beta frame tries to impress. The power frame qualifies. Second is the analyst frame versus the vision frame. They want to debate data. You paint a future that they want to be a part of. The third frame is the moral frame and economic frame. They're trying to guilt trip a question or ethics. And what I want you to do is respond with, if we're not aligned in our values, then this probably isn't a fit. And it's better that we find that out now, early into the conversation, so we both don't waste each other's time. You see, this is emotional jujitsu. You're not fighting energy. You're redirecting it. You're controlling it. Now, let's talk about 4 elite frames that any professional can leverage right now today in every single one of their social interactions. Now, since majority of you people are entrepreneurs and sales professionals, we're going to apply this to sales. Now, the number 1 frame that you can use is something called the prize frame. People want what they can't have. They chase that which moves away from them, and they only value the things that they pay for. You are the opportunity in every situation. You don't need to pitch. You need to vet. You need to say things like, let's make sure this is a fit for us. We don't work with everyone. This isn't about me selling you. It's about me deciding if we're right to both do this together as a partnership. We focus on partnerships, not transactions. You see, this flips the psychology from chasing approval to giving evaluation. The second frame that you're going to have to understand and really start to use that's very powerful is something called the time frame. And what you want to do is you want to anchor your social interaction to a timeline, not theirs. And how we do that is by setting a timeline in the beginning of every conversation. Hey, John, I have about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and get this party started. If this isn't a fit, no problem. I don't want to waste your time or mine, so let's just get it out of the way early on in the conversation. Hey, John, we move super fast and this isn't right for everyone. So if this is not right for you right now, I totally respect that and we can part as friends. You see, this is not fake urgency. There's nothing fake about this. This is real leverage. Number 3 is the intrigue frame. Now, mystery creates obsession. You never reveal everything up front. You always want to keep some of it kind of guessing in a way. You want them to continue to chase. And if they chase, you can continue to paint the picture. So there's something we do that's a little bit but different, but I'm only going to bring that up when it's actually relevant. So let's start this conversation with seeing if we're a good fit. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your company, and what you're looking to accomplish, John. If we are aligned, then we can spend more time talking about this methodology, and I can show you exactly how we can 5 to 10x your revenue. You see, what you want to do here is you want to create tension. You want to build curiosity. You want to make them lean in. Now, the 4th frame that you can use is the power frame. This is the nuclear core. You come in high alpha, high energy. Let's keep this simple. I'm not here to prove anything. I respect your time and I expect the same in return. You can't fake that. You have to believe it or you don't. And if you don't believe it, you don't need to bother saying it. Here's how you take it to the final level. This is something called frame stacking, and it is the easiest way to win frame control in every single interaction that you expose yourself to. It's when you layer multiple elite frames on top of each other to create an unforgettable position and win frame control in every single one of your social interactions. So let's say you're on the call with the prospect. You want to start the call with, "Good afternoon, John. I've only got about 15 minutes today. We're not the cheapest, so if price is your main concern, we're probably not a good fit. But if we align, I'll show you exactly how we scaled multiple 8 and 9 figure brands in under 6 months that are very similar to yours." You see, right there, I'm controlling time. I'm asserting the value. I'm creating intrigue, and I am telling them I am not going to chase. And I did all of that in the first 30 seconds of the conversation, which is going to break me out of the croc brain and get me into the limbic and the neocortex side of the brain. At this point, they aren't evaluating me. I'm evaluating them. I'm qualifying them. You see, most people do the complete opposite here. They ask for permission. They play small. Frame control changes that. It is the foundation of confidence. It is the language of influence, and it is the most secret weapon to commanding any single room that anyone could ever learn. So imagine this. Imagine the rest of the stuff that you could learn if we could teach you how to really set frame control in all areas of your life. This has only been 10 to 15% of what you can find in Psychology Secrets Live, where we are constantly tearing apart the psychology of entrepreneurship, winning, and getting everything that you desire and, quite frankly, deserve. If this intrigues you and you want to be a part of this, I'm putting together a test group of only 300 people. I am going to certify them in the Psychology Secrets methodology, and once they're certified, I'm going to partner with them and help them scale their businesses through the roof. So if this intrigues you and you want to take it to the next level, check the link in the description, go over there, or feel free to text 646-901-4973 and we'll send you over some information to see if you qualify. Be great. We'll see you on the next one.